The use of trademarks, logos, and pictures in this video are purely for comedic effect. They are in no way meant to imply directly or indirectly any connection, relation, or funding from aforesaid companies. The use of these displayed images are in no way implying any negative connotation towards these companies. Viewer discretion is advised.
Today, we will be relating the Pi to a cell. What is the Pi, you ask? The Pi, also known as a Raspberry Pi, spelled P-I, not P-I-E, is a mini computer, and it actually does many of the same functions that a cell does. As we look closer at the Raspberry Pi, we can see that it has an outer hard case, and this demonstrates the cell wall. The cell wall protects the cell against outside stuff and also getting too full of water that it wants to explode. So it helps contain the cell. And we can demonstrate that the Raspberry Pi has this outer shell by putting a drop of water on it. As you can see, the water does not go into the cell, and it protects the Pi.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am here to talk to you about the cell membrane. The cell membrane decides what's allowed inside of the cell. It also decides what leaves. Putting that to a Pi, well, there's a software. It protects the Pi from viruses when connected to the internet. Why am I talking like this?
I'm the cell membrane. I protect the cell.
I'm a virus.
Oh no, a virus. I'll just break out my cell membrane.
A centriole is an organelle made of microtubules found only in animal cells. They are important in cell organization, but their most important job is in cell division. When the cell divides, one centriole stays in the cell and the other breaks apart and leaves and helps form the new cell.
Welcome, folks! In order to explain our next topic, which is cytoplasm, we actually have to open the Pi up to demonstrate. The job of cytoplasm is to actually hold the organelles in place inside the cell. So we can compare that to the Pi in the case by looking at how the case surrounds the Pi and doesn't allow it to move. Okay, I'm here to talk about cytoskeletons. The cytoskeleton is what holds the organelles in place inside of the cytoplasm. The cytoskeleton is made up of microtubules and microfilaments, and this can be demonstrated in the Pi's case by the way that the Pi is actually held. If we look inside the Pi's case, we can see little webs all around here that attach the pie to the actual outside of the case, or the cell wall in our cell. The microfilaments and microtubules are actually these little webs.
The mitochondria takes energy stored in food and turns it into something the cell can use to be more productive. So, like our voltage converter takes energy from the battery and turns it into power for the Raspberry Pi.
Hey, it's me again. Our next topic is the chloroplast. Like an animal cell's mitochondrion, plant cells contain what's called a chloroplast. Chloroplast uses the sunlight energy and converts into chemical energy for the plant in a process known as photosynthesis. Comparing this back to the pie, let's say we wanted to power the pie using the light. This solar panel right here can use energy from the sunlight and put it into the pie, which will power it up. Our next topic are lysosomes. Lysosomes are in charge of cleaning up the cell. The purpose of the lysosome is the breakdown of materials that have outlived their usefulness. Likewise, in our pie, the delete button can delete files that are no longer needed.
Some cells contain a bag-like structure known as a vacuole. These hold salt, water, proteins, and carbohydrates to help power the cell, similar to how our battery stores energy to help power the pie.
The nucleus controls the cell. We can relate this to how the pie works by how the processor controls the pie. This little black square, that is the processor, and it controls everything. The pie is truly a monarchy. Hello. Right at the moment we will be talking about the nucleolus, and we can relate this to the pie because in the nucleolus, ribosomes are created. Inside the pie, right here, is the processor, and this processor also includes RAM. RAM stands for Random Access Memory, and this is where data is first generated.
Our next topic is ribosomes. Ribosomes are smart particles of RNA and proteins. They produce proteins by using coded instructions from the nucleus. This can be related back to our pie because the boot system is what generates power to the pie, which gets it started. And proteins are the basic foundation for cells.
This organelle is called the smooth endoplasmic reticulum because it does not contain ribosomes on the outside. It contains collections of enzymes to perform specialized tasks such as the detoxification of drugs and the synthesization of membrane lipids. Excuse me 1 minute. This relates to our pie because the pie can be programmed to do specialized tasks. Proteins made in the rough ER next move to the Golgi apparatus. The Golgi modifies, sorts, and packages proteins for the cell to store. Not these floating objects again. You can compare the Golgi to the way that the pie sorts and produces data.
I am the last stand-bender, and I'm here to talk to you about the rough ER. The rough ER is the part of the endoplasmic reticulum that has ribosomes attached to it. Once these ribosomes produce the proteins, they are sent into the rough ER where they can be chemically modified. This relates to the pie because the boot system can also be edited.
Credits in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.